In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 5 years worth of business knowledge, and that comes from the mistakes I've made and the big wins I've got. And to give you guys a little bit of an insight as to how I started, it all came around from being a freelance video editor. Back then, I was barely making £50 a week, and then I knew that things had to change. So as time went on, I put all my time, my effort, trials and tribulations that I went through in order to run my video editing agency. And from that, I went on to make my own videographer business, recording for local artists, local shops. And now I sit back with my team around me, and that allows me to make money every single day. So if you're starting from square one, the first step we need to talk about is finding out what business you want to choose in the first place. And now, of course, I'm not you. I personally took the social media route. You might want to do some e-com stuff. You might want to do social media. I might want to do music, whatever it is. But the best part of this video is the principles I'm about to speak about apply to every single business. So when I first started making my £50 a week, the first thing I knew I had to do before I was even keeping my bit of profit, I had to put my money in back to the business. Now, investing in yourself is essential when it comes to growth, because you want to get the more better equipment, you want to get the more better studios, whatever you're doing, you want to have better, constant upgrades no matter what. For an example, like I did, this camera I'm using, I just bought it $3.5 grand. Now, if you look back on my old videos, it's a big step up. So if you want to make sure your business is at its best ability, then you need to compromise some of that profit and put it back into yourself. That is very essential. As an entrepreneur, you need to make sure that you spend money in order to make money. Now, this is essential again. So don't worry if you feel like you're burning money, doing it on loads of purchases, because I promise you, every single millionaire or billionaire or rich person has put money and they've not really got much out of it. But don't worry, because eventually you will. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about, you've probably heard it numerous of times: consistency. Now, consistency is key, and that's a very good quote to remember, because you can even have bad quality, but as long as you have good consistency, you will definitely get where you need to be. And don't get me wrong, quality matters, but it's the consistency that matters the most. You see, when you post things on social media, for instance, the more you post, the more you get in the algorithm. So that's why when you see a lot of people posting, that's what they're trying to do. The more consistent you are, then the higher success rate that you'll get. Now, in order to have consistency and be motivated to do your work, you need to have a passion for the grind. You need to love it. You need to ask yourself, are you really built for what you're about to take on? Because you see, most people, they work and they hate their job. Now, what you're going to love is not the job you're doing, because I'm pretty sure if you got offered a job cleaning toilets and you can make £1 million from it, you'll do it, but you would hate it. But it's the fact you're in love with the grind, the money. That's what you need to be passionate about. Not about what business you're going into. Of course, you have to have knowledge on it. But if you start taking passion into your work that you're doing, the exact type of job you're doing, then you probably won't make it that far. But the moment where you start enjoying the grind, the every second where you're broke, and then you're striving for success, that's the part that will get you far in this game. But of course, you can't get that far by yourself. So you need to make connections. You need to build relationships with people. You need to be around the right people. Now, I've previously said in a video of mine before, if you're in a circle with 5 stone cold hustlers, you're guaranteed to be the 6th person. However, the moment you start hanging around people that do drink and drugs every day, you'll probably be the next person on that list. Of course, being around right people is very hard. I don't really have a huge team. I've only got about 4 people around me. And now look, it is super hard to find the correct guys. It's no easy job, and trust me, it took me ages to find people that was in love with the grind. So you're probably going to be there for a while trying to hunt for your team. It's not going to come overnight. Please do not get it wrong. It will not come overnight. But it's important that you put yourself within the right environment to find the good people. And when you search for them, most of the time they ain't going to come. Trust me, I've been there. I've tried to put people on work and then they flake on me within the next couple days. You can't always find what you're looking for. However, I promise you, when it's the right time, everything will fall into place. And then that comes down to changing your habits. Now you might think, how are the two related in such sense? Well, the thing is, if you're always going to the club, do you really think you're going to find someone with the same mindset as you? Chances are you might have a good mindset and then you want to blow off a little steam in the club. But that's not what majority of people are there for. People that usually go to the club live and breathe for the club. All they want to do is party, drink, smoke, drugs, everything of the above. Changing your habits is an essential key to success. But please don't get me wrong, having fun every now and then is completely fine. It all comes down to something called moderation. I'm human, I have a bit of fun sometimes in life. I might go to the pub, I might go to a shisha lounge. However, as soon as I'm back in this room, I'm back to work. Now coming back to mental strength, you have to be iron-minded in life. Because I'll be honest with you, and this one might take a toll, but you need to listen. Some of your family members might not even want you to succeed. Some of your family members might not even believe in you, in your dream or your goals. So of course, if you tell a family member that you want to be rich one day and they go, yeah, maybe if we win the lottery. Of course, that's going to take a little bit of a mental effect on you. Because when you hear them negative things in your head, you're always thinking it's just a dream. It's not a goal. There's a difference. People dream of things that they can't have and they want to have it. But your goal is when you're going to have it. There's a clear difference. So please, when you use the two terminologies, don't mix them up. And to level things out, you need to network with good people. You need to show your face at least a couple times. You need to spend a bit of money. You need to lose a bit in order to get networking. Now trust me, I spent a bit of money trying to do networking. That stuff ain't free. If you want to meet the high quality people, then you need to go to the high quality places and spend a high quality of money. Now going off topic from all of the mental stuff, we're going straight back to business now. One thing I learned is that you only have one pair of hands and there's only 24 hours in a whole day, and you want to add more to your plate, then you need to start delegating your work. Usually with delegation, you need a bit of capital to start paying people. But one thing that you could do is get yourself a partner. Now if you run it up with them, that will give you 50% less of the work, and that's 2 pairs of hands. Now 2 people can do a lot, you'll be surprised, and that will both give you equal amounts of time to venture off and find new business ideas. Because of course, you're not going to have one business and prey on the one business that it works. If you talk to a scientist, I guarantee you that they will not come up with the correct formula the first time. They probably tried it 50 plus times and they still haven't came out successful. So when it comes down to business things, you're going to be trying a lot of new stuff. Some might not work, you might burn a bit of money. I can't even tell you the amount of money I burnt from things like promotions that didn't work, buying products for the business that just didn't work. There's a whole list I could go on to. But the thing is, you have to risk it for a biscuit. You got to be in it to win it. Now, the next thing is social media. If you suck at social media in 2024, then chances are you will probably never make it. I'm not saying you can't make it without social media, but I'm not gonna lie. Learning the algorithms, learning the correct times to post, the what to post, the length of the videos to post, it helps a lot and it speeds the process times 50. Social media is the future. Everybody's using it. Look how many people are on TikTok. Look how many downloads it has. Look at Instagram as well. They've got reels. People are on that all the time. Opportunity staring at you right in the face. So you don't want to waste time with social media. You can use social media quite a lot, but it's if you use it for the wrong thing. If you're just scrolling all day, then you're not going to make a bit of money. However, if you're creating all day, and you use social media, whether it's for inspiration ideas, whatever it is, then you can get more things out and you can try to make a bit of money. Now, traveling is one that I don't do abroad anyway. I personally think I have things to do. I can't really waste my time and go on a holiday. But traveling outside your area, whether it's to a part that you don't really go to or a place you've never even been in general, traveling and expanding is what you need to take on. Now, meeting new people is always good. You might not meet the right people, but meeting people's good. Getting to know everyone in loads of different areas can help in many ways that you probably never even thought of. Establishing the bad, the good, the ones to keep in contact with, the ones that you shouldn't. It kind of links back to networking, because the more people you know, the more things that you can get. If you do someone a favor, then they'll guarantee to give one back. And always having favors is a brilliant thing. You never know when you might need something, and you can call that one person who owes you, whether it's money, something to do, and they will always have your back on it. Being a man of your word as a man is very important. So you have the traveling, the expanding, the networking, relationships. What comes next? Well, it comes down very simply to social skills. Now, I know a lot of people do not really have good social skills. They're a bit timid, they're a bit shy, a bit anxious to meet new people. I never really had those fears. I was always just a bit confident. It always just stemmed from being younger. I always used to talk to people, very talkative. But if you ain't like that, then I want you just to push yourself. You see, a lot of people, they're very comfortable in the comfort zone. But where's the growth if you're comfortable? Do you see what I'm saying? In order to be able to talk to people, just start by talking to people. It's as simple as that. If you see that girl that you really like, then just go up and talk to her. She don't know who you are. The most you can say is, you're beautiful. Can I take you on a date? If she says no, then who cares? She don't know who you are. She'll probably laugh about it, as if you would laugh about it if some ugly girl came up to you. It's not that big of a deal. You just need to push yourself harder and harder with everything each day, especially when it comes down to social skills. If you have no social skills, then you will never be able to network with more people, with the good people. The only trick to get better at it is literally going outside, go into a social environment and just start talking to people. Just say, how are you doing today? My name's so-and-so. What you been up to? Whatever it is, don't care. Just talk. Now, this one is probably the most essential. And if you're into business, then you probably look for this one. It's knowing how to sell. Now, this can come under many things. You see, knowing how to sell, majority of people just think selling a product, cold sales. However, that's not all to do with selling. Of course, if you want to get better at selling, then you need to learn the main principles. A lot of people will try to sell a product directly to you. If you asked a random person that has no knowledge how to sell, and you asked them to sell a pair of these AirPods, all they would tell you is about the product. They would say, yeah, they're wireless, you can charge them, you can have one ear in, you can have one ear out, you can see the battery on them. The way you sell is you need to ask questions. So if I was going to sell the AirPods, I would say, how long have you been looking for headphones for? They might say, I don't know, 3 months. Okay, what purpose do you need the headphones for? They might say something for the gym, or for work, or just sitting at home. Then I'll probably ask them something along the lines of, what headphones are you currently using? And they could say something like wired Apple headphones. Well, I can say to them, these AirPods, they're wireless. And then you can start selling the product like that. You don't want to directly start selling the product. You need to know why they want the product, what usage they have for the product, because then you could sell them over the ear headphones. That might be better for them and it might be more pricey. That's how you properly sell something. You ask and ask. And of course, coming under how to sell is selling yourself. Now, that might sound a bit crazy, but selling yourself in social environments is very important. Now, coming back to social skills and networking, you need to know how to sell yourself, because people are always going to look at you at face value, whatever you're wearing, you know, that's how humans work. They judge. So you need to be good at talking, and you need to know how to sell yourself to someone. You need to say, yeah, this is what I'm about. This is what I do. You know, how about you? And then you need to just talk and talk and talk. You need to talk about how good you are, subtly, of course, not out there. It's not too hard. You can get the gist of it really easily. It's just bigging up yourself, and if I can say it in a couple words. If you just started your business, then you're going to have no clients or no one to sell to. So what I did, when I first started video editing, I did freebies all the time. Freebies is how you're going to entice people and give them a larger incentive to work with you or buy your things. People love free things. So chances are, if you DM someone, let's say you're a video editor, and you say, I want to edit you a free video, you don't spend a penny, I get work on my portfolio, it's a win-win, nobody loses. Then they'll probably say yes 99% of the time. And that's the way that I looked at things, as I literally just said, I get work on my portfolio. Now, if you can say that you've worked with all of these people, then that's also going to give people an incentive to work with you. Nobody really wants to work with people that haven't done anything before. Nobody does. Would you trust somebody to build you a house if they've never even laid a brick? No, of course you wouldn't. However, if you give away free things, it's just going to add value for you, and then eventually you can start getting paid. Not a lot of people utilize this trick. You may think they do, but trust me, they don't anymore. Utilizing freebies is one of the best ways in order to start gaining money. Now, of course, on the topic of money, you get competition. You need to be the best. You need to win the game. But how do you win the game? One thing I would recommend is looking at your competition and steal with your competition. Of course, it can be very unethical depending on your business, but I would literally just say steal. But the difference is when stealing your competitors' ideas or their products, whatever it is, you need to make sure everything you do is better. Because you can market certain things on certain adverts into the space where your competitors are. Now, if you do that, you can steal your competition's customers. As I said, it can be very unethical. However, if you tweak certain little things about the product or the service, you could come out with a load of sales and a ton of cash. But on to the lighter heart stuff. One thing I've learned is you need to make stories in life. See, last year I was locked in my room, working away. I didn't really get much time to go out. The only time I probably went out was to the gym or to the shop. I didn't go out with friends. I didn't go anywhere. All I could think about is money. And that's all I still think about to this day. But it gets to a point that you realize you can't just wither away working 24/7. You have to live a life a little bit. Because when you look back when you're older and you see that's all you used to do, now you're old and you have money, you didn't really live your younger years a little bit. You need to loosen up a bit, because you also need good stories when you connect with people. To a degree, people were interested in other people's business, their life. So if you come out and you tell them some crazy story that you had when you was out with your friends, one woke up with a tattoo on his face, something absolutely nuts because you went out drinking, then you can connect to that person on a personal level because it's funny. You're both in a social environment, you're both laughing about it. That's how you can connect with people, by making stories. Nobody likes a boring person, especially women. If you go on a date and all you can talk about is just your business, they're going to be sitting there like this, bored out of their mind. They ain't gonna want to talk to you. They would rather go with a broke dude who actually lives their life. So you need to have a fine line of what you do. Now, my last and final point is probably one of the most important on the list in my opinion. It's personal brand and respect. You need to be respected as a person. You cannot let nobody walk over you whatsoever in life. Life's hard. People are gonna try to do it. You need to hit back all the time. That's what it's about. People are going to try hit below the belt. They're going to try cheat you out. So you need to make sure that you work on yourself and you build up your respect. It's easy. If you respect someone, chances are they respect you back. You may not have to like people. People may not have to like you. But if they respect you, then respect can get you a very long way. For example, you might be really hench at the gym. People may not like you, but they can respect the fact that you've put in the work and the effort in order to get to that size. And especially with money and business, people may not like you, but they can respect the fact that you're a hard-working person. I believe I went in deep detail with what I said. Maybe not the deepest I could have gone. Otherwise, you'd probably be sitting here watching a video the length of a Netflix movie, and I'm not really about that. So I tried to cut everything down that I thought was the most important. Obviously, I may have not touched up on everything I possibly could have, but this is definitely the most important ones on the list. So as my last thing today, I want you to apply all of these steps to your life. I promise you, if you follow them, it will all work out in the end. I've been Ty White, and thank me later.